And cool. Let's do this. Speaker view. So it's been an interesting weekend. The past 4 or 5 days have been really interesting. And I started preparing for this call at 4 o'clock this morning. Now, the good news is I've actually got 3 messages ready to chat with you about. And I chose one based on a conversation that I had with someone this morning. So how many of you saw my post last week in reference to changing the model and Keller Williams Coral Springs? Raise your hand, give me a thumbs up, right? What kind of response do you think I got?
My first thought is I'm moving to Coral Springs because that is much cheaper than what we have here.
Okay.
And when I saw it, I was going to go back and read it in depth. And when I got back, it was gone. I couldn't access it again.
Yep, that's true. It was.
So John, first question I asked my team leader is, are we going to have something similar? Because it's going to help me recruit more for sure.
Yeah. Really good responses, guys. And all of those are responses that I got, including some that weren't exactly those responses. And here's the bottom line. The industry is going through a major shift. This is an industry shift. We're not talking about a shift in the market. We are talking about an industry shift. And true or false?
True.
True. Yeah. And in 1987, Gary Keller got together with a group of leaders in Austin, Texas, with his young company. It was 5 years old at the time, and said, we're going to rewrite the model. And they did. And we've been working from that model since 1987. Wow. And in January of 2020, I was in a mastermind with Gary Keller in Dallas, Texas, when he shared it's time to rewrite the model again. And he shared with all of the team leaders in the room, representing this entire amazing company, that it was time to be disruptive. And the whole idea behind what we were doing was giving our agents, first of all, the best opportunity. Think about the mission, vision, values of Keller Williams Realty. Mission: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, legacies worth leaving. And our job is to create a model that would be disruptive. Do you think that model that I introduced to Coral Springs last Wednesday, do you think it caused disruption?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah. And Eddie Lee is one of the team leaders who absolutely responded in an amazing way, because he reached out to me and he said, wow, this is working. It's really disruptive. My phone is ringing off the hook. Yep. And then there were a few who didn't respond quite that way. So got to thinking this morning, and here's what I was thinking about. Winning begins with culture. And like I usually do when I'm preparing to speak to a group on a particular subject, and this subject, if you're taking notes and you want to give it a title, it's building a winning team. I go to books that I've read and I look for information that I want to share with you. And the book I'm holding up right now is You Win in the Locker Room First. And this was written by John Gordon. And in the very beginning of the book, he shares, everyone creates your culture. Culture consists of the shared purpose, attitudes, values, goals, practices, behaviors, and habits that define a team or organization. You want me to say that again?
Yes.
Yes. Culture consists of the shared purpose, attitudes. You know, when you slow down and you listen to what's being said and you really paid attention shared. That means we have this in common. We're a team who shares a purpose. We share attitudes. We share values. We share goals. We share practices, behaviors, and habits that define our team or our organization. To be successful, you need everyone. He didn't say part of the team. He didn't say most of the team. He said everyone in your organization thinking, believing, talking, and behaving in sync. That means together. You need everyone to be aligned. Again, he didn't say part of the team. He didn't say most of the team. He said everyone. With the same beliefs, expectations, behaviors, and habits. One team, one culture. So the next point, so if you're taking notes again, point number one is, or bullet point number one, or Roman numeral number one is winning begins with culture. The next major point that I want to make to you this morning is who is more important than how. And I went to Change Your World by John Maxwell in order to get this information. If you have the book, I'm on page 64 and 65. And here's what John Maxwell has to say. Once you've landed the idea that the cause and the team are more important than you as an individual, the next question you need to answer is, who do I need to team up with? Who do I want to be in this boat with me? I'm got this giant boat and we're all rowing. Who do I want to be in the boat with me? Bottom of the page, he goes on to say, have you ever watched a rowing team work together in the largest boats called sculls, S-C-U-L-L-S? 8 athletes row in unison. That means together, with a coxswain in the stern of the boat, steering and calling out the cadence of their strokes. Let's just call that person the leader or the team leader or you. These teams can only succeed if they work together. In my early days of leadership, and John's sharing his story, right? In my early days of leadership, I was gathering people to fill every seat of the boat, but only a couple of us were rowing. The rest were just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the ride. Now, those of you who have built a team, you're like, oh yeah, I understand that one. Or if you've ever played competitive sports, 100%, you've got guys in the huddle with you who you know are taking the next play off. By the way, taking one play off in football can cost you the game. Just one play, one person taking one play off. The defensive, the cornerback for the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game with 5 seconds left in the first half, took the last play off of the first half, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored a touchdown and went on to win the game. One player took one play off, and it cost him the Super Bowl.
Did you say one play or one player?
One player took one play off, and it cost them the Super Bowl. So John goes on to say, these teams can only succeed if they work together. In my early days of leadership, I was gathering people to fill every seat of the boat, but only a couple of us were rowing. The rest were just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the ride. Understanding this, I made another shift in my thinking to, I want to make a difference with people who want to make a difference. I finally grasped that who was more important than how. When it comes to working with people to change the world. If we wanted to make a difference, we had to be fighting for the same cause. Next major point I want to share with you is shared values. Winning teams begin with culture. Winning teams understand who is more important than how, and winning teams have shared values. What unites us is greater than what divides us. I'm going to say that again. What unites us is greater than what divides us. Shared values define the team. If your values and the values of the people on the team match, you will experience alignment, unity, and effectiveness. If not, you will never feel like there is a fit, and they will remain frustrated. Having common values among team members versus not having them is like the difference between oh, this is really good. Having common values among team members versus not having them is like the difference between a herd of horses and a herd of donkeys. When they're under pressure. Pause. Do you think we're under pressure right now? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, 100%. Horse trainer Stephen Brown said that when a group of horses encounter a threat, are we encountering threats in the real estate industry right now? Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. They stand in a circle facing each other with their hind legs pointing outward, ready to kick at their enemy. Donkeys, on the other hand, do just the opposite. They face the threat, but that means when they kick, they strike each other. Once you've determined there is an alignment of values, focus on what you have in common, not your differences. What we focus on expands. If we focus on our differences increase. If we focus on what unites us, then our unity increases. President John F. Kennedy promoted unity when he said, let both sides explore what problems unite us instead of belaboring the problems which divide us. So I'm part of a team. Who's my team?
The Waxman team.
Okay. There's a lot of right answers to this question. There's a lot of right answers.
They're on a team. Coral Springs.
Coral Springs. Who else?
Williams.
Keller Williams. It's my team. The South Florida region is my team.
Mm-hmm.
This
Survive to
group,
thrive.
yes, this group is my team.
Mm-hmm.
Your family.
All part of this, all part of the team. All part of the team. And why do you think I'm sharing this with you? What did you hear? What did you learn? Talk to me. This is Andy Andrews calls them tabletop conversations. This is a group of individuals who are part of a family getting together and having a tabletop conversation. Why do you think I shared this with you? What did you hear? What did you learn?
We need to stick together. We need to work together. We need to send those referrals out to our other KW agents in other states. You know, keeping our team holding it together.
Thank you, Camille.
And
Well
we
done.
focus on what we have in common as opposed to our differences. Who really matters? You know, like you said, not how. I just finished Good to Great and it says the exact same thing. When you have the right people on the bus, then you can decide where you're going, because you know you don't need to motivate people.
Love that, Valerie.
Yeah.
John,
When Valerie said that, I heard John like a donkey.
Hmm.
It sounded like it.
You know what I
Sorry, that is
heard
not funny.
so
when you were talking,
Go ahead, Sarah, you've got the floor.
so when you were saying how horses prepare when they defend themselves,
Hmm.
like that they face each other, right? So they're looking at each other, right? They're not looking at whatever it is, they're looking at each other for strength. That what they're focused on is each other.
Hmm.
Right? They're not focused on whatever. They figure, hey, we're focused on each other. Anything comes near our hind parts, so we are all going to start kicking. And it takes, when you were talking about the row team, right? They all row together in unison. They're not, nobody's chilling, nobody's relaxing. It's like, hey, they know the purpose of being on that boat is to row and row in unison. All the rest of the stuff was left on shore.
Love it. Good job, Sarah.
And
Be
that's-
great.
that's
I'm
what-
not sure her be great is, but be great has their hand up. Be great, and then Carol. Oh, it's Diane.
sorry. I have,
Ah.
I'm on my nonprofit Zoom. Sorry about that, but we can all be great. But John, one of the things I feel like you were with me all weekend because I actually had like multiple meetings with my business partner, with my nonprofit, and what we were focusing on this weekend was actually our core values.
Mhm.
What is the core values that we're trying to, who are we? And so that goes for Keller Williams. If you stick with the core values, it's like in you and what you believe in, as no matter what industry you're on or what industry you're in or what you're doing, sticking to your core values will get you further because you're sticking with your guns.
Good job, Diane. Good job. Carol, I know you were up there. Go.
Yeah. What I hear is no one succeeds alone.
Mhm.
And team is together we accomplish more.
Mhm.
And if we stay focused on ourselves and being selfish, yes, we want to accomplish our own personal goals, but we can accomplish more as a team. So it's time to choose which team you're going to be on. And delayed gratification. When I think about that process and all of the naysayers, they're thinking about themselves in the right now versus what it could be a year from now. All those little things could be worked out.
Yes.
But for a year from now or 2 years from now, we can accomplish more and have more in our pocket.
Yes. Great job, Carol. Thank you very much. Hey, script practice begins in 8 minutes. It is the same link that you use to get on Survive to Thrive. I'm going to log out here in just 2 minutes and take a 5-minute break or 3 minutes, whatever it ends up being. And then I will see you back at 9 a.m. for script and role play. Thank you for the pleasure of your time. I appreciate all of you. I honor all of you. And I am grateful for this opportunity. All right, time to get to work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18, not 17 conversations, because when I have 17 conversations and I stop because that is close enough, I don't have the 18th conversation, which could have led to $1 million listing that I didn't get because I didn't have the conversation. Make CARES calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude. Thank you for taking my call. Always bring value to every single conversation. Today and every day, focus on getting one appointment, getting a referral, or adding somebody new to your database. Find somebody today that is thinking of selling their home, whether it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days from now, or a year from now. Doesn't matter, because a year from now, you're going to need listings. When you meet with someone who's thinking about selling their home, put them in your pipeline and then follow up with them forever. You follow up forever because you reject rejection, and because no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember that people will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. And when you follow up forever, you're creating emotional proximity. You're also giving those homeowners an opportunity to change their mind and make a new decision based on new information, which will be to hire you. Make it a great day, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Yes,
Thank you, John. Take care now.
always my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.